Blended learning has given us the opportunity to combine traditional learning and also using the resources that we have from the district, where we're able to bring in a lot of the digital media to support student learning. It gives students the opportunity to learn, again, like I said, in a traditional method, but it also is giving them an opportunity to kind of learn through adaptive software kind of at their pace.
You're not using technology for the sake of technology, for the sake of using technology.
So it gives teachers a good opportunity to have small group instruction.
You're going to be making groups of how many? 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The stations are purposeful in that they're focusing on the TEK that the students need to learn, and they're differentiated. Not every student is doing the same activity at one station. So the student knows what is the goal that I'm working in and what activity is going to help me reach that goal.
So when you first walked in, we were doing classcraft. It's a creative way to refresh our brains. What we do is, what we're doing right there is lining up our decimals. We line up our decimals from greatest to least or least to greatest. And what we do with that is we add them all up together and we figure out the total of what they want us to do. When we get it right, they press correct answer. And when we get correct answer, it's the funniest thing. We battle a monster together as a team.
You have to start with a classroom culture. Classroom culture that the students are there to make progress. They're going to help each other. They're going to get help from the teachers and any other adult that might walk into the classroom that is there to work with instruction.
Decide that you needed to divide by 4.
If you bring in blended learning, every child is given ownership. The teacher gives the ownership to the students, okay? So then that addresses the other pillar, that it starts with data-driven instruction. The teacher has to be, when the kids are out there on the adaptive software, the teacher has to be monitoring the reports, monitoring the very specific data that are involved so that they can then have those conversations around data with students.
¿Cuál de esas no tiene sentido que sea?
When you hand over the data to the students, they're given ownership. Student agency means that the students are on a day-to-day basis, on a minute-by-minute basis, making decisions about what they are doing in class to progress in whatever they're doing.
Are they differences or similarities? Yeah, similarities.
This is the same.
You have that instructional rigor. Because again, when we're looking at the way the state is going, which I completely agree with, as a matter of fact, the 30-60-90 model, when you're talking about 90% of your students should be approaching grade level standards, 60% meeting and 30% at that advanced level, okay? It makes sense because every student, no matter where they're at, needs to be demonstrating progress. The students take their ownership, and so they start to work in the sense where they're driving and targeting either the pace that they work at, the path that they take, or the content that they need. So the students are really driving the direction of where they need to go. So they're not, the whole class is not going in one step at a time at exactly the same place. So it looks very different from your traditional classroom.
Blended learning means to me is more exciting, like the name, blended learning. For some reason, I think of like a milkshake when you add the teacher and then you add the cherries. And so it's like adding a teacher, technology, and kids. And then when you mix it up, it makes blended learning, which is awesome. The best thing about here is you never get tired of it. Like every day you want to come to school.